What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down some drills that all wide receivers must do. Let's get started. Now, before we get into this video, fellas, if you're a wide receiver and you would like a daily on-field route running training schedule that you can do, check out that very first link in the description below. And when I say schedule, I mean like a legitimate schedule. We map out every single drill that you should be doing on a day-to-day basis. We give you the exact video example of the drill and the exact sets and reps to follow. So it's a complete workout schedule to help your route running, your press releases, and your hands improve. So if you guys want some more information on that, again, check out that very first link in the description below. Let's get back to this video. All right, guys, so all of these drills that we are going to be going over today are going to be for press releases off the line of scrimmage. How can we beat certain press coverage looks and drills to work on the certain releases that we are covering? So the first release is going to be something called a split release. So a split release is pretty much exactly how it sounds. For this drill, you're going to need 4 cones kind of set up in like a circle pattern. If you have one of those like agility, like octagons, you know, those like circle type things, that also would work for this. But if you don't, cones will work perfect. So you need 2 cones set up at the top and then 2 cones set up. Both are even with each other, trying to make a tight circle. Okay, so again, it's working on the split release. So what is a split release? First and foremost, split release is exactly how it sounds. You're going to line up. I like this, honestly, this press release against pretty much any type of DB, inside shade, head up, outside shade, whatever it is, when he's right up on the line and we don't have much room. When a DB is right up on the line of scrimmage pressing me, I want to try to make him miss laterally, right? I'm not trying to attack him because he's already closed the distance for me. I don't need to attack leverage. I just need to make him miss, right? So a split release is great to do that. So pretty much what we are doing is you're going to take your front foot up. Let's say the quarterback's to my left foot is up. The foot that is up is going to go out. Your back foot is going to come straight up. Your back foot is not going wide. It is going straight up. So you're splitting. Both feet are making contact with the ground at the exact same time. That's where a lot of guys struggle. A lot of guys don't know how to do a split release properly. They'll go 1-2. That's not a split release. Or they'll stand straight up in the air and they don't get wide enough. The reason why we want to be wide is to withstand the jam from the DB. If you're narrow with your feet, you are not as balanced. You could get knocked off balance. You can't push and drive out of the break. So that's what this drill is working on. So what you're going to do, you're going to stand in between these cones. Either foot is going to be up. Recommend maybe doing about 5 to 6 reps of this. It's a 2-part drill. So you're going to start out here. Left foot's in between this circle of cones. What you're going to do, this left foot is going to step out of the cones. Back foot is going to come straight up on the outside part of this right cone. So set, go, it's here. You're literally taking this foot and jumping out. That makes sure that you actually split your feet and you come to balance for a second. Then we're going to come back. On the second go call, you're going to burst, honestly, in either direction. Let's say I want to burst to the outside. So set, go, split, burst out, and then accelerate up into this break, this route, whatever you were trying to work. So I'm going to show you how this thing is going to look full speed here in a second. But again, great drill to work on your split release, getting to a good base, having both feet hit the ground at the same time to perfect this move. All right, guys, so this next drill is going to help you with your crossover move off the line of scrimmage because a lot of wide receivers don't know how to do this crossover move properly with enough explosion to get this DB to jump. So what you're going to do is you need 2 cones. So you need a starting point cone, which is where you're going to be lined up on just a single leg, which would be your right foot. And then you need a cone where you're going to be working on like a jab step that is set up like kind of at a slight 45-degree angle. That's where the 2 cones are going to be positioned. So when you do a crossover move, right, like let's say, for example, I'm lined up here. Let's say I got a DB who's maybe lined up like head up coverage and I want to take an inside release. Maybe I got to run a post, maybe I got to run a dig, whatever it is. And I want to use a crossover move. So a crossover is essentially just like a 1-2 off the line. You go 1-2, trying to make him think that you're doing an outside release, try to get him to jump so we can slip back underneath. Now, the mistake that a lot of wide receivers make is their first move of the crossover does not set them up properly for the second step. So they'll go here and they take this really big step. And when you take this really big step outside of your frame, you don't have any explosion, you don't have any push. The second step of the crossover is the more important step. The first step is all about explosion. So when you take that first step, it's got to be a quick step and it has to be inside your frame so you can push off of it to sell to the outside. That's what this drill does. So what you're going to do, you're starting out on one foot, your right leg. You're going to jump straight up in the air as high as you can. So this also works on some explosion. You're going to land first, and as soon as you land, you're going to push and throw and hold this jab in this second cut. So why are we doing the jump? Why not just throw it from a flat-footed position and work on the jab? Because when you jump and when you land, if you land on one foot and you land outside of your body frame, it's going to feel really weird. But if you jump up and you land inside your frame, you're going to have some balance, you're going to have some explosion. And if you feel powerful on this drill, you're going to do it correctly. Highly recommend doing this drill with maybe a camera setup so you can make sure that you have the correct form when you land on that jump. I'm going to show you how this drill is going to look full speed to perfect that crossover move. All right, guys, so this next drill, you are going to need 3 cones set up maybe about 2 to 3 yards apart on a 45-degree, like kind of diagonal, to work on this shuffle release that we are going to be explaining. So this release is, honestly, I love this release, like maybe on like a goal line fade. You have a DB who's lined up like 2 to 3 yards away. He's inside shade, and you have to run an outside breaking route. So what you want to obviously do when he's inside shade is you want to try to attack him to the inside, threaten his leverage, make him think we're running a slant, inside breaking route, because when he's inside leverage, that's what he's trying to take away, and then give yourself more space to the outside. So this is working on the shuffle that's going to attack him, us gaining some ground with the shuffle, and then ultimately a crossover move, which builds off of the last drill that we did. So again, like I said, this first cone is more so like a prep step or prep cone, I guess you could say. So this type of release, let's say I'm lined up here, DB is where the cone is. He's like inside shade, right? So what you're going to be doing, the steps of this release, is you're going to take your back foot and you are going to punch first with the back foot. So I'm going to take a punch step. That is essentially, I'm not stepping super wide, I'm not stepping back, I'm literally just stepping in place and taking a step and pushing off of the back foot, and then you're going to reach with the left. That's what gets us squared up to this DB. So that's what this first cone is. We're trying to get all the way to the cone, over exaggerated. So I'm here, I take a punch, reach, and then we just gather right at the cone. Then you're going to reset. Then we do the same exact thing. You're going to take a punch step. So it's punch, reach, crossover. Then we're going to burst up, and you could work like a route off of this. You could just accelerate up and run a fade if you don't have a quarterback, whatever it is. But this works on us closing space with the DB with that punch and that reach step. You could also play around with the tempo of this. If you want to go slow, go slow. If you want to go quick and fast, you go fast to mix up the different tempos that we use off that line of scrimmage. So I'm going to show you how this drill is going to look full speed. I recommend doing this 5 sides where or 5 reps where you're punching with the right, reaching with the left, and then 5 reps where you're punching with the left, reaching with the right, into that crossover move. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. Always appreciate the feedback. Always great to hear from you guys. And again, fellas, if you would like an 8-week wide receiver route running, press release, catching workout schedule, all the drills wide receivers should be doing that you can do on the field that don't require a quarterback either. Again, check out that very first link in the description below. We'd love to get you on that, fellas. I'll see you guys next time.